Term 1. Types of easement. By who holds the easement? Easement appurtenant, easement in gross. By purpose, affirmative easement, negative easement. By creation, express easement, implied easement, easement by necessity. Other types, solar easement, conservation easement. Term 2. Easement appurtenant. Easement appurtenant is an easement that benefits a specific property. This is the most common type of easement. For example, a property owner might have an easement appurtenant that grants them access to a private road in order to reach their landlocked property. Term 3. Easement in gross. Easement in gross is an easement that benefits a person or entity, not a specific property. Easements in gross are less common and typically require a very specific purpose. For instance, a utility company might have an easement in gross across multiple properties to allow them to maintain power lines. Term 4. Dominant estate. The dominant estate refers to the property that receives the benefit of the easement. It's the land that gains an advantage from having the right to use a portion of another property, servient estate, in a specific way. Term 5. Servient estate. A servient estate is the property that bears the burden of an easement. In simpler terms, it's the land that has a portion of its use rights granted to another property, the dominant estate, through an easement agreement. Term 6. Affirmative easement. An affirmative easement grants the easement holder the specific right to actively use a portion of another's property in a designated way. It allows the easement holder to do something on the servient estate, burdened property, that wouldn't be possible without the easement. Term 7. Negative easement. A negative easement, in contrast to an affirmative easement, restricts the owner of the servient estate, burdened property, from doing something on their land. It prevents the servient estate owner from taking specific actions that would interfere with the enjoyment of the easement by the dominant estate, benefited property. Term 8. Express easement. An express easement is a clearly defined and documented legal agreement that grants specific use rights over someone else's property, servient estate, to another person or entity, easement holder, benefiting the dominant estate. It's established through written communication and recorded officially to create a permanent record. Term 9. Implied easement. An implied easement arises from the way a property has been historically used, without the need for a formal written agreement. It's a legal right created by implication based on the prior use of the land. Term 10. Easement by necessity. An easement by necessity is a specific type of easement created by law, not through a written agreement or historical use. It arises when a property, dominant estate, has no other reasonable way to access a public road or essential services without crossing a neighbor's land, servient estate.